One more cardio session in for you guys. This is going to be number 3. I did just over an hour for 2 of these. I've got my breakfast cooking. It's Sunday. It's a non-training day. I'm pretty well recovered from my Thursday and Friday lifting. So it's like, let's just come in, burn through some body fat, burn through some calories. So I'm going to get a little more cardio in while I'm still fasted. And then I'm going to not do any tonight. And that way I can soak up all the carbs, soak up all the food, and hopefully get a really, really good workout in, right? Get some good workouts in tomorrow morning. We'll get up nice and early, get some training in. So again, my thoughts here, a little bit of bonus fasted cardio on a Sunday feels like a really good idea, right? Especially then I can eat and recover. But I'm already past 2 hours, so let's just get one more in. The views were pretty decent on these, so I'll kind of see how this goes for this time slot. Of course, this one's obviously indoors. If you guys would, please remember to click like on this. Please comment down under it if you watch it after the fact. Let's get this up and going. We had some decent chats this morning on a few different topics. So also, guys, remember I have coaching slots open. I also do consultation calls. So I'm gonna check a few things while I'm waiting on you guys to start commenting. Fortunately, got the other phone here. I can check all my other social media, see what's going on. While I wait on you guys to get a little more lively for me, because it'll take a few minutes, right? Sometimes it takes a minute to get people in. Although the last one, man, it picked up immediately. Like it was flowing within the first few minutes. So hopefully with a little luck, we'll get that again here. There we go, already got that first like. Hit those likes, that'll get more and more people in here. That's a good thing. Definitely what we want to see happen. Also, if you guys are following me on my Facebook and stuff too, I need to find a way to link some of that in here a little easier so that people can see my other links while I'm doing these. It would be super helpful. But on the ones on the phone, there's not like an easy method of doing that, unfortunately. It's not just like a straightforward, easy thing I can just do. Right? So there we go, a few more people trickling in. So again, just getting that extra bit of fasted cardio in. Like I said, I felt just getting one more of these in before breakfast, than eating just a little bit later, not a bad idea. Although my food's ready, the brown rice is already done. I've already put it all in, got the Instapot set up. So I've got chicken breast, brown rice, broccoli in there. I'll obviously do some avocados and stuff with it because that's what we do. But I'm going to wait on this chat to pick up. We should be getting some comments here shortly. Usually people are flowing in by then. We start getting some conversations going, and I'll discuss whatever the flow of the conversation is. But otherwise, it's just a matter of me knocking out more cardio. Yes, I'm going to be sound tired because I have the bike on a pretty high setting. So this is fairly hard. This is actually harder than doing the walking, to be fair, in terms of intensity. Right, mainly just because of the setting that I run it at, right? Doing it on a little bit more difficult of a setting. All right, yay! Leo says, "What's up, Lee? Yo, hitting the ground running for the day, coach. Love to see it. Hey, man, Matt, I appreciate it, dude. You know me. We gotta stay on top of it." Lewis, I don't see what you mean. No, not really. Not really. I don't care for him at all. How are you having a good day? Yes, Carrie, we're having a good day. We're getting our third fasted cardio session in. I did over 2 hours already, getting a little more in on the bike after the walks, and I'm going to knock out a bunch of chicken, brown rice, and broccoli. Right? Be a brotastic meal. But if you guys will all hit that like button, man. Hey, Matt, hit that like button. Lewis, Lee, Carrie, hit the like button, guys. Let's get those engagements up. The likes are what drive this into other people's feeds. That's what gets it popping up for people to see the alert, to see that I'm live. So if you guys will hit the like button, please. Zion Lion says, face sitting. What about face sitting? This is a strength and fitness channel. All right, what are you talking about? All right, come on. Money and fitness. Hi, there we go. See your name. See, this guy's going to talk about fitness at least. He's got money and fitness in his name. He might want to actually talk about some deadlifts. It's good to exercise and try to eat well. Yes, it is, Carrie. That's kind of what the whole point. I am a strength coach by profession is literally what I do. right? We don't just exercise, we train. This is not an exercise channel, this is a training channel. Now, cardio like this is just exercise, but we are about getting cock diesel strong and jacked. That is what this channel is about. It's not working out and accept your fate. How about your mama accept her fate? Money and Fitness says, great. Lion Zion says he's got a penguin body. Well, we can fix that. What do you mean glute spreads, GP? Glute training, we should all train glutes. I do deep squats, I do hip thrusts, all that stuff, man. Dudes should be glute training too. Everybody should train their glutes. Men and women both need to train their glutes. It is critical for your health, it's critical for your strength, critical for your athleticism, and it'll make you look good naked, right? What is your goal after the training? What do you mean, Carrie? You guys know my goals. I vlog all my training. My goals are to continue to have an elite powerlifting total when I reach 50. I'm 48 now. Have an elite powerlifting total, have a six-pack, and be in immaculate shape and health. Right? That's our goals. That's what we do here. I train like you. I'm 41, also Money and Fitness. Keep on rolling with it. Matt says all the best guys in space are aligning. Dulce said recently 1 pound per month is gain phase is the maximum for what he tells his clients. So yeah, exactly, Matt. So we're all saying the same things, right? All of us are saying the same things as far as weight gain goes for guys gaining muscle. I'm saying it. Minnow's saying it. Dulce's saying it. Even Paul Carter, we're all trying to tell you guys, stop trying to gain 2, 3, 4 pounds a month. You're just getting fat. There's no need for that even for bulking guys. 1 pound. I tell most of my clients, I don't gain more than a pound a month, even when you're trying to maximize muscle growth. Just stop. Right? Carrie says, I wish you all the best with it. Thank you. But that's what we do. We just keep going. What bad habits have you have if don't take it wrong? What do you mean bad habits? Like cussing? I cuss a lot. I say the F word a lot. What do you mean bad habits? Some people might consider my use of testosterone a bad habit, but I don't think that it is. No, I don't eat junk food. The last time I had a cheat day was on Christmas with family, my cousin's house. I haven't had alcohol in over 6 years. My last alcoholic drink was over 6 years ago. I don't smoke. I do be darting my glutes with testosterone, though. Does that count as a bad habit? Why would I stray away from it for Memorial Day? No, Alan, I don't have to stray from any of it. You know, people are still going to grill chicken and stuff too, dude. How you balk in your dopamine? What do you mean? You don't need any of that for dopamine, dude. Right? I mean, I guess sex. Sex could be a good dopamine hit. I'm 19 and have high cholesterol already, not overweight. What should I eat? You need to get rid of all the saturated fat in your diet. Money, what do you mean balance? How's that balance? Bad habits are not balanced. What are you talking about? Dudes are like, I don't have balance in my life unless I drink alcohol. No, man, that's called being an alcoholic. You need to go join a support group. Got my blood work done. Yeah, dude, if your cholesterol's high already, obviously I got my blood work done earlier this year. My testosterone was 823 at 31. That's insane. You're in the top percentile. Curious, on one of my leg days, my main lifts are leg press and RDL. What do you think I should be done first? I'd probably leg press first. Well, I mean, I can make the case for the RDL. The hamstring pump can help, better stability on the leg press. Try no sugar for a month challenge. T-Bone, do you not know where you are? What do you mean it's a challenge? Why do you eat that shit? You clearly don't know where you are. Hey, I want to give you a challenge for a month. How about for 10 years? Last time I had refined sugar was on Christmas at a family get-together. I had some dessert. Why are you eating shit like that? Do you want to die? Come on now. I'm 25 and gained 80 plus pounds in less than 2 years after doing a bodybuilding competition. It's mainly due to eating junk food as a cope. Any advice? Yeah, quit eating junk food. What am I eating right now? Today is going to be chicken, brown rice, broccoli, avocados, probably some Greek yogurt, maybe some oats. I saw your videos, you were a natural beast. Well, I don't know about natural. Testosterone is not natural. But, you know, we do kill it though, man. Right? That's the thing, man. Squatting 500 without sleeves or shoes at 48. Which country to live in? The Great Republic of Texas. Another benefit from build diet is ultra cheap, especially affecting long-term medical. Exactly, Alan. Let's not even get into the medical end, but dudes are like, they're looking for all these fad diets. And why don't you guys just eat bodybuilding bro diets? It's cheap. Chicken and brown rice are not expensive. Food is addiction and no one dare talk to and no one is killing people nowadays. What do you mean we don't talk about it, Box? We talk about it all the time here. I talk about it all on Facebook. I talk about it on my channel, man. Just quit eating junk. Just cut all of it out cold turkey. You don't need junk food. You don't need it. It's an addiction. Hyperextension is good morning. Which one is best and does it depend on your intention? Depends on what you're doing. Now, reverse hypers are not the same as hyperextensions. No, it depends on what you're trying to do and what the whole flow of your program looks like, honestly. Thoughts on GLP-1, T3, and Clem being the ultimate? Jesus, dude, that's overboard. Yes, here, not all people talk about addiction. You just got a subscriber. Oh, awesome, man. I've talked about it. It's not even stuff like the sugar that's the addiction. It's the hyperpalatability that's the addiction, right? Where do we run into problems? Where do we get that dopamine hit? When we combine any two of the most sensitive taste receptors in large amounts, which means fatty and salty. So think pizza, bacon, right? Cheese. Or we combine fatty with sweet, which is going to be what? Ice cream, cakes, pies, candy, right? That's what gets us. It's when we combine those things. Well, I mean, so the same thing, fatty and salty. How about a hamburger, cheeseburger, and French fries? So the same thing. People say, well, the sugar with the milkshake, but that's the fatty and the sweet together, right? You have a large amount of fat combined with refined sugar. So this is where we run into problems with the addiction. It's the hyperpalatability from that, creating that dopamine response. You say Texas. Yes, I'm in the Great Republic of Texas. Right? Hey, it's you. Yes, Sunko, it is me. It is the real Jason Blaha doing cardio. My third fasted cardio session, man. We're going to knock out a nice big old pot of brown rice here shortly. Oh, it is chicken breast. I actually have 12 ounces of chicken breast in it, like 12 raw. So almost just under a pound. Brown rice, broccoli in there. Then I'm probably going to dice up a couple avocados with it and put some salsa on it. I have many Indian friends. There's a fair amount. There's definitely Indians in my area. Where I'm at in spring, most of our Asian population here are Korean or Chinese, though, and Vietnamese. I actually know a number of Vietnamese people here. Thoughts on behind the neck shoulder press as a primary delta exercise compared to overhead press? Do you have the shoulder mobility for it? If you have the shoulder mobility to perform it safely, and that's a big if, it's a phenomenal exercise. I would argue for overall shoulder development, it is definitely superior to a front overhead press because you're going to get a lot more of the other two heads of the delt. It's the issue is, do you have the shoulder mobility and flexibility to perform it safely? And not everybody does. I don't right now. I need to get back to that. I used to do behind the neck push presses on camera, 12 years ago. I do, what? Internal and external rotation. What about internal and external rotation, Money? I'm assuming you're talking shoulder, or are we talking other stuff? I talk a lot about externally rotating the hips on your squats. Old school sports-specific training, has the meaning of this training become non-existent? No, sports-specific training hasn't become non-existent. SP is a big part of a lot of what even I do for my clients, right? Right, some of my fighters and other people, we do some SSP. So I use the words GPP and SPP. So really I'm looking at general physical preparedness versus specific physical preparedness. What's your future goals? My fitness ones? At this point, I just need to maintain the strength I have. I just need to get a lot leaner, bring up some weak points visually, and try to keep the strength I have at a lighter, leaner body weight would quite frankly be my future fitness goals. I'm at a point where I go, do I need to be stronger? I squat 500 pounds, dude. I'm 48 years old. Like, how about we just get leaner and see if we can maintain that? Be good to go. So really, for me, goals now at this point is to keep the strength, gain muscle in a few of my weak areas, lean out considerably. Would kind of be where I'm at as far as those goals go. That's why I'm doing all the cardio. Man, the views dropped down a bit. Get those, it's because no one's hitting like. Money and Fitness, hit like. Your health first, hit like. Sunko, hit like, guys. The lack of likes is actually killing the views. So if you guys will please hit the like button for me, I would greatly appreciate it, right? So if you'll please hit the like button. My goal is to keep getting thicker and thicker and to hold as much muscle as possible to avoid sarcopenia. Okay, cool. Do you ever consider, no, why would I do hair treatment? All right, so money, I have to talk about this a lot. I would have to shave my head even if I got hair treatment. So if I got hair plugs and all that stuff done up and spent all that money and all that time, I would have to shave it off because of my psoriasis and skin doesn't like it. Just for me to keep my beard this long is such a pain in the ass that I want to shave it off, but I don't want to not have a beard. Make sense? Like the amount of stuff and moisturizers and hydrocortisone and stuff I have to rub into my beard and the amount of scaling I have to scrape out of it just so that my face doesn't bleed, just so that I can have hair on my face, is its own like whole lifestyle. It's like really, it takes time out of my day every day just to keep a beard. So imagine me having to deal with my whole scalp. I would have to just keep shaving it off. You know what I mean? Wide grip bench versus floor press versus, so, and I don't even want hair. Like I wouldn't even know what to do with it anymore. I haven't had hair in so long, I wouldn't even know what to do with it. Why keeping a beard if it triggers? Because I don't like the baby face. I don't like the lack of facial hair, honestly. I don't like it. I just think that a man should have a beard. I prefer to have a beard. And so I have to deal with my skin to deal with it. Right grip bench versus floor press versus flat dumbbells to address weakness on the bench. Honestly, any of them. If you really have a true weakness, a bench grip that puts you at the deepest stretch possible is what I would bench with. Dumbbell presses, weighted dips. Honestly, any, maybe decline dumbbells even, right? I love hairy men. You look so hot. Well, thank you. It seems like the strength training movement or the basic movement patterns are used lost often, I guess, in front of the more professional ranks. Do you see a discrepancy? No, that's just some of the stuff that's advertising. A lot of the NFL stuff I've been seeing, they run conjugate and all that stuff. It's not Blaha, it's Blaha. Yes, I'm still kicking. I've been here for 13 years, dude. I'm here every day. I never went anywhere. Also, hit that like button. Yeah, I'm definitely not your boo. Chest lift, I hit a 250, squat 300, 310 deadlift. That's a good little base. Keep moving forward, man. Keep building it from there. But again, guys, hit the like button. Come on. What are you training today? Just cardio. I don't lift on the weekends. Coach, are you a Peaky Blinders fan? No, I don't care for the show. I watched a couple episodes and I was like, I just didn't care for it. I just didn't really get it. Makes sense. It just wasn't something that I didn't understand. It's just too big of a cultural jump for me. Because of joint pains, I stopped having lifting. I mean, your joints should be good. Like train better, train smarter, eat better. Your joints should stop hurting from lifting if you do it all right. But no, Marty, I don't lift on the weekends. I lift Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and then cardio every day right now. But the weekends is tons of cardio. We're already at like 2.5 hours of cardio today, and I still haven't had breakfast. I'm gonna get breakfast here soon. This one might be a wash though. We're not getting the views. We're not getting the likes, so pretty much we're not gonna get views because nobody clicked like, unfortunately. Sadly. Jason, my new meds gave me horrible and uncontrollable. Okay, so I totally didn't need to know that. How do you think reverse hypers will help subluxation and lumbar disc? I don't know that it's going to help the subluxation and the lumbar disc. It may help because it stretches and pulls things apart, but I don't know that it's going to specifically fix that once it's already there. But at the very least, you are at least strengthening all the erectors around it. See, man, I'd like to meet you. Yeah, sorry, dude, I don't meet the fans from the internet. No offense, but I just don't do it. And I always make that as a standard policy for reasons I'm not going to go into for legal reasons. Mainly because I have actual real stalkers. Speaking of training, I'm following Mike Mentzer style of training. Now, you just lost me. Sorry. Mentzer was an insane drug addict near the end who came up with crazy stuff that had nothing to do with what he did, and nobody successfully ever implemented it. He shouldn't be an influence anymore. And so by Mentzer style training, do you mean the way Mentzer trained when he was a bodybuilder, or do you mean the crazy ass shit he wrote when he went insane after he retired and stopped lifting? Because those are completely different things. Everyone refers to the latter as Mentzer training, and they ignore what he did when he was competing in the Olympia. How's personal trainer? I wouldn't know. I do online virtual coaching. How do you think reverse hypers will help with lumbar arthritis, improve blood flow, improve strengthening of it? I mean, it also depends on what's causing the arthritis. It's not going to necessarily cure the inflammation that's there. Have you ever had to tell a client that they're taking too much break between reps? Like how long a break? Depends on the lift. I mean, obviously at the top of a squat, if they need a second or two, go ahead. But I mean, we shouldn't be taking 3 seconds between reps on any exercise, right? Even on a deadlift, man, you're just resetting. It's on the floor for about 1 second. You reset and pull again. Jason, you not my boo? I've never been your boo. I don't know who you are. Training as a bodybuilder. So keep in mind, Mentzer's training as a bodybuilder has nothing to do with how he wrote in his stuff later or promoted. Does that make sense? So you need to specify that. So basically you're doing power building, which is fine. Probably fairly similar to how I train. Paul Riley, morning, Jason. What's up, Paul? How you doing? Paul being a client. But usually when people refer to Mentzer training, they're talking about the crazy, insane meth-fueled rants he wrote later talking about, we do 1 set per week to absolute, like he went nuts. How would you get a client to squat who has knee arthritis? I've never dealt with knee arthritis. Power building is the best idea. I mean, I pretty much do power building, right? So for me, it's about 10 to 12 sets a week per muscle group, working off baseline of moderately heavy barbell lifts first. Jason, how could I make you my boo? You can't. I'm not available to be with anyone, and you're probably not an attractive woman. But we have to do some calisthenics. What do you mean? I don't believe in calisthenics unless it's weighted. Like, you're talking about just body weight stuff, you want to add weights. I do weighted dips, I do weighted pull-ups. But I'm not going to waste my time just completely with just body weight for the sake of body weight. They're good exercises, but you have to load them. Thanks for calling out the sugar diet fad. It's hilarious that people are defending it. It's insane that people are defending it. Look how many people defended it in the comments on my YouTube and Facebook who came into the defense. Is there an article about what Mentzer did at his peak? I don't know about articles, but if you research, you can look it up. If you research it, you can go look it up. I mean, I found vague references back in the past, but you got to do a little digging. He basically just did power building, right? It was just all power building, you know, like 6 to 8 rep, 6 to 10 rep, heavy work based on big compounds, followed by isolation work, moderate volume, right? What's up, Steve? We're getting it done. This one may not run a lot longer because I did over an hour or 2 different sessions in a row, and I just wanted to get a third one in before I eat breakfast. I'm an attractive dude. Yeah, master, but I'm straight, so that's a problem. Take care. See you around. Appreciate it, dude. Are there any supplements that actually work? Work in what way? I mean, protein is protein. Melatonin helps you sleep. Creatine might have some cognitive benefits. Dorian Yates said upright rows are a silly bollocks exercise. I don't know. Did he say why? Did he go into detail as to why? I've seen you or someone else reference that already, but you didn't talk about it further. Now, as far as intensity levels of training, do you feel Mentzer had a point about taking steps to absolute failure? Nope. There's no evidence. In fact, the evidence shows that going beyond failure doesn't cause any muscle growth. The last rep before failure is the only one that causes muscle growth. So the actual rep you've reached failure on has no actual training stimulus. But you know what? Mentzer also didn't have computers and biopsies and EMGs and stuff to measure any of that. He didn't have any equipment. So he was in the dark ages doing the best he could. Does that make sense? So essentially you're quoting an old philosopher who did the best that he could with the equipment he had available. And that's been debunked now, but in his defense, how would he know? He didn't have the equipment to measure that. But we know now the rep you actually reach failure on probably doesn't seem to cause muscle growth. And we know that once those drop sets and force reps, they're not stimulating any muscle growth either. They're just not. And again, unless, as Chad said, unless you just upped your dose. If you just added a new drug to the stack, yes. Why? Because you're going to get an anabolic stimulus in the intermediate fibers again from the new hormone environment. But if you're already been training for several years, all of your muscle growth comes from your fastest twitch fibers. None of the other fibers grow anymore from lifting weights. So the only reps that cause any muscle growth are the ones that fatigue the fibers that are capable of growing. When you fail a rep, that means those fibers are dead pretty much to you. You've lost access to them in the set. That's why you failed the rep with a weight you've already done 8 reps with. Chad, why upright rows are silly? I mean, he said Dorian said it, but unless we have an explanation, there's no reason to think they're silly. It stimulates the shoulders. Pete Mentzer did have a phenomenal physique, rugged and dense. That's what modern open bodybuilding should be. I mean, he did. No, he had a phenomenal physique. Like, I think that actually is a fantastic representation of what open full-bodied bodybuilding should be. Just people need to be aware he didn't train the way that he wrote about later. It was vastly different. He was still doing like 9-10 sets a week, which we would call more or less moderate volume. So he was doing moderate volume power building, more or less, which works pretty well, right? It still works. So if we know it works and a guy on lots of drugs with good genetics did it, of course it's going to work. You know, of course it worked. Is the sugar diet worse than carnivore? That's a tough one. In terms of total negative metabolic stuff, I'm going to say carnivore is worse. The problem is the sugar diet, we are risking definitely some dietary deficiencies quicker. Some of them could be problematic. Man, while I think the sugar diet's stupid, I think full-on carnivore is actually still worse. It's still going to kill you in a worse way. But neither one is good. They're both pretty bad. They're both pretty stupid from a health perspective, right? They're both pretty bad. And how about we just all agree on that point? So it's kind of like when people argue this stuff, though, it's standing around arguing about what's worse, guys, crack or heroin. We could choose not to do either one. You know what I mean? People say, what do you mean? These diets aren't that bad. Yeah, they are that bad. And you know what? They're like, but at least people are getting ripped. Well, a lot of people get ripped on heroin and crack also. How many people get lean enough to see their abs on crack and heroin? So I think it's an absolutely valid comparison. All right. They're both deadly for your health, and both can, in the right environment, cause fat loss. Just like heroin and crack. All right. So do we need to really debate which one is worse? How about we just don't do either one? They're dumb. Just like the whole frying in seed oils versus beef tallow debate. People get upset when I point out, yes, technically frying in your food in seed oils is less bad than beef tallow, but they're both stupid. They're both going to make you fat. They're both going to make you sick. Just one of them is worse. Beef tallow is objectively worse than seed oil, but you still shouldn't be doing either one. If you actually care about your health and you don't want to be fat, you shouldn't be eating French fries in general. Common sense. But it's amazing how people will run to defend the beef tallow. But I'm like, yeah, you're a fucking idiot who can't read science. Next. But we come back over to the point because they think I'm being pro seed oil. And I'm like, no, dude. Frying your food in seed oil is going to make you fat and sick. Beef tallow will just make you the same level of fat but sicker. All right, just checked and found an Ironman magazine article with Mike Mentzer talking about his most productive routine, alternating AB workouts 3 times a week, 15 to 18 sets per workout, 6 to 8 reps per exercise. Yep, so how far off was I? I said, I think 6 to 10 is what I remember. He was doing probably about whatever, I thought around 9 or 10 sets a muscle group, total per week. Focus on big compound movements, followed up with some isolation. And that's pretty much how he trained. It's power building, right? Power building. In a nutshell, let's check something here. How many total minutes did we do on those? All right. Plus the other. It's trying to see how many total minutes I'm logging here fasted. Looking at the other streams. Yep. Man, I almost want to end this, but I also want to go, man, if the views will just pick up, I'll run it longer, burn through some fat. But we got to get those views up. I don't know how to do that. Yeah, I agree, they're both stupid. 1 to 2 sets per exercise, but multiple exercises per muscle group. Yeah. Right? I thought he did more than 1 to 2 sets. Some of those he might be pulling that Dorian stuff of they weren't to failure. Right? So, not sure. But yeah, there's some older stuff like that. You can find some old write-ups of what he did. So a whole lot of what Mentzer really did back in the day looks a lot like power building does today. Too bad he went crazy, right? Instead of continuing to promote that. Instead of continuing to promote what got him on the Olympia stage, he went crazy. Self-medicating his mental illness with methamphetamine. He wrote some crazy, crazy stuff in those later days, and everyone follows it. They think that's the whole Mentzer philosophy. And they really think that Dorian Yates did it, or that he trained a Dorian, which is crazy. Because that's Dorian even said, no, dude, I let him use my name because I felt bad for him. Like Dorian literally felt sorry for him because he had gone nuts. But he still remembered he was such a great bodybuilder at one time. Most unfortunate, And people think that, you're being, I'm not being critical. It's just the reality. It's the unfortunate reality. That's what happened in his later years. The dude was a great bodybuilder. He trained hard, had a really good philosophy, and then he went crazy. His mental illness went untreated, and he tried to use amphetamines to self-medicate, and he just wrote some crazy, crazy stuff that people now follow. How do you determine sets per week on a muscle, and whether it's overlap? A lot of it, quite frankly, I don't spend a lot of time worried. Like, I don't stand here, like, so for example, let's say I do 3 sets of dips twice a week. I'm gonna count dips towards tricep in the extension, so I'll count that as 12, right? But I mean, I really look at it and go, how much of a primary mover is the muscle? Like, I would definitely count rows towards rear delts, but some of it you just kind of have to decide, how do you really want to count it at the end of the day? He probably just counted what he thinks are working sets, but still 15 to 18 working sets per workout is vastly different than what he preached later. Yeah. Hey coach, what type of cardio are you doing? It's technically list cardio, limitless. We're doing list cardio. And I almost want to stop, but I'm like, man, we could hit the 2-hour mark or the 3-hour mark today and then just eat up really good. Right? I don't know that I want to get that much. It would help if there was a lot of views in here and I could justify it. If I had 50 people watching or more, I would just keep going. How old are you? I'm 48 years old. We are 48. But yeah, the views are trickling down. Why so much cardio? Limitless, I've already told you guys every day why so much cardio. I am cutting. Do you eat more if your cardio sessions are longer? No, not really. I'm eating about the same. He generally does long weighted walks. Anything else but walking is key for health. Yeah, I already did over 2 hours of brisk walking this morning on camera, so I've already done that. But so once it gets to a point where the sun's really bright, my phone gets hot, I can't read it, I'm losing connectivity because they're having a tower issue. Walking outside doesn't work for my streams, so I come in and do the indoor bike. But I try to get at least an hour walking every day. A lot of my off days from lifting like this, I get 2 hours in. If you do bent rows properly, as you tell us to do, there's rear delt involvement. Yeah, absolutely. Definitely rear delt involvement. I personally still feel like I need to isolate them. For me personally, mine are underdeveloped. Do you have a set walking goal like 10K steps? My goal is to hit at least 2 hours of list cardio every day through any combination. Now, most days I go over, but I have been hitting my minimum of 2 hours. That's my goal. How many carbs do you want with all that cardio? A lot. I don't know. I'm not tracking my exact macros. Let me think. If I'm trying to estimate, I don't know, maybe 500 grams, 400, 500. If gaining weight, eat less. If losing weight, eat more. Weight isn't important, but so. What did you write? So 2 hours of list cardio and gym. Yeah. So I do my 4 workouts, and then our baseline is 2 hours of list cardio every day. Most days I'm going over. Like today, I'm closing in on 3 hours right now already. Because I did 2 hours and 10 minutes between the first 2 walks, and this stream is already 38 minutes deep. If not too fat, how recommended pounds drop a month? It's kind of scale with how lean you are. Dude, honestly, cutting slower is generally going to be better. Man, I get sick of the where you from. Everybody in the world knows where Coach Blaha is from. There's whole memes about it all over the internet. Come on. You can't possibly ask me that anymore. You guys tell them where I'm from. All right. Everybody in the stream knows. All right. Dean, maybe at most a pound a week, but I think that's a lot for someone who's decently lean. How much calories does that burn? At least 500 an hour. You're doing lead priest level cardio. This is common. Bodybuilders all do that. Tons of them do this type. I use cardio 3 times a week on a high carb diet and we take a daily milk of potassium. What? What are you talking about? Dude, you're crazy. Oh, you don't know me. Okay, that's cool. I live in the great Republic of Texas. 50 people would have too many questions. No, that's cool. I like that many. I just don't have to answer all of them, chat. We want more views. This is the lowest view stream I think I'm going to have today, actually. I'm going to see, but like the second one was over 500 by the end, 500 total views when I hit the end. This one's going to be really low, I think. Unless a bunch of people hop in the last minutes here. So you don't know, how did you find my stream then? If you don't, I'm curious how people are coming in here, because I'm getting people who are not even lifters trickling through these, which seems strange to me, given the entirety of my content is built around strength sports for the most part. So you're from America. Bitch, I just told you the great Republic of Texas. Sorry, man, this is the response you're going to get. I'm a Texan, homie. Do you not understand my culture? I'm not trying to be mean, but man, you do know Texans have an attitude about that. We're known for that all across the world. Like, everybody knows that. Like, Texas literally says stuff like, the United States is Texas and it's 49 bitches. You know, we have an attitude about that stuff. No, I'm riding my recumbent bike. So we did over 2 hours of brisk walking already first. Then took a shower, and now we're finishing up doing a little bit of list cardio on the bike. Right? All right, man, now them likes are coming in because people are laughing because of my Texas jokes. Excel, you're crazy, dude. Why you keep talking about all this stuff? Man, you're a weirdo. Whew, we get some weird ones in here. Zoe says, it's. Zoe, how you doing, bro? Looking like you'll take her in a dooger. Why are we getting all these poop people? All this is some weird stuff trickling in now. Steve, you still in here? What do you make of all this? Steve's a former client. How am I weird? Well, you're talking about pooping and butt stuff on a strength and fitness channel. You know what I mean, dude? I mean, that's cool. I get it. You're a troll. You like to troll. You like to talk about suppositories and dookie. And hey, man, that's your thing. That's your fetish. That's what floats your boat. That's what ropes your goat. That's what blows your skirt up. You're the man, Jason. 25 now. I'm listening to you and following your 5x5 whenever I can fill off for 10 years now. Awesome, man. Awesome. Trump can't legally run again unless he gets the laws changed. I'm not a troll. I'm just, well, it's called trolling light. It's still trolling if you're poking fun, but it's all good. Oh, I thought you were the poop guy. Never mind, K-Dot. I thought you were the one talking about the suppositories and diarrhea and everything a minute ago. I just realized you were just talking about the toilet. It's all good. It's all good, Kay. No big deal. No harm, no foul. Right? No pinching a loaf off. All right. I eat a lot of brown rice right now, though, to be fair. So I eat a lot of vegetables and brown rice. So, I mean, we do have some healthy bowel movements. I'm watching this from Northeast India. Oh, so you don't know much about Texas. That would make sense why you didn't understand the cultural breach. What's your TDE like with all this training? It's got to be crazy. Crazy. Because it's normally like 3,800, 4,000 sometimes before this much cardio is added in. It's got to be up there. I don't know. I feel like I'm growing and recomping in spite of it. Like my legs look bigger this week. I'm like, really? I've been doing all this cardio. Why my legs are growing? That their testosterone. I don't know. Yep. I don't know about 5,500, probably 5,000. I wouldn't be surprised at 5,000. I don't know where you got trolling from. We just trying to help people out with the weight loss. Yeah, dude, they don't need suppositories, man. Making me feel. Yeah, dude, I'm really good at making people feel like dumb idiots when they say, you must be new to the Jason Blaha experience. Coach gives up, like, keep in mind, I coach pit bulls and savages for a living. I'm a fucking asshole. I literally coach elite strength athletes and fighters. I'm kind of a dick. I have to be. Because I have clients who will step to me. So yeah, dude, I will knock you down for stupidity every time, man. I have a lot of buffoons telling me HIIT cardio is better than lifting heavy plus list for. Yeah, why are they telling you that, Chad? They're not understanding adaptation. HIIT cardio is great for some sport-specific applications. But for what we're talking about body composition, I'm going to agree with you. You're right. Heavy lifting plus lifts will be much better because the HIIT will interfere with your lifting and muscle stimulus. You're not going to be able to do as much leg work. And HIIT itself is not going to stimulate significant growth. But what about the sprinters? The sprinters all squat 500 and 600 pounds. That's why they have big legs. Right? Steroids plus 600-pound back squats make big sprinter legs. All right. You think about HIIT cardio just to save time? No. HIIT cardio is sport specific. It's not. It's going to literally interfere with your training. So what do you mean save time? So if you're just using for fat loss, then you just need to eat less in that case instead of doing the lifts and the whole flux method. I don't know who Pert Berkins is. What are we talking about here? What are you talking about? Dude, this is a strength and fitness channel. For someone who only has, no, because again, interference, cross interference with your lifting. Right? Chad, explain it to him. He's not getting it. Chad looks pretty jacked in that avatar. Right? How many times can you do push-ups? I don't care. I don't do push-ups. I do weighted dips. I do bench press. I don't do push-ups. Coach, I've been following you since the low liner word piano days in 2013, 2014. All right, you've been here a little while. Wish I had 3 hours to devote to daily lists after packing a short verse around family duty. Yeah, you have daughters. I have no children. I do not have children. I have guitars. Does that count? I have 2 ex-wives. Actually, one of them has passed away. But I don't have kids. Right? Oh, dude. This colostrum clip still makes me laugh, right? The whole colostrum thing. That was classic stuff right there. Wasted. Oh, man. I'm going to do this a couple more minutes. We're going to wind it down. I think we're right at. Got to be at the 3 hours. So I'm trying to factor in that other Facebook stream I did first. Oh, well. Either way, we're pretty dang close to 3 hours anyway. We break it down. And my food is ready. It's sitting in there. Let's see. What's it like for your mama to open her mouth for me, Dixon? All right. So do I take this to the 50 minutes or not? You guys give me some questions to keep me motivated for a couple minutes. Come on now. All right, this last little stretch. I just want to make sure if I'm going to do it, I'm going to go ahead and hit the 3 hours. Keep going, Coach. Well, let's get some topics going. But 50 minutes will definitely be 3 hours total. So we're close. If I only have 1 hour of cardio, what I do lists. Well, limitless. The problem is you're going to gain less muscle because your HIIT is going to interfere with your lifting and your leg workouts. Your legs are most of your muscle. So you want to burn as much calories as possible. You need to gain as much muscle as possible. The HIIT cardio is going to interfere with gaining muscle. Therefore, you're going to burn less total calories. Okay? You can not like that answer, but it's fact. It's just reality. Okay? The only cardio that's not going to interfere to some extent with your lower body lifting is going to be less cardio. So you're going to be weaker in your legs and have less muscle in your legs from it in terms of the recovery. Okay, makes sense. Got to play the long game here, Limitless. Got to play the long game. All right, guys. 50 minutes or so mark, we're going to wind it down, so that's coming up here. So we're just about there. Love you guys. Time for Coach to get some breakfast. Be the last stream of the day. We put some other content up, and I'll talk to you guys and gals next time. We're out.